Hello, everyone. Welcome to our annual Soul Freedom series. It is so good to be here with all of you again. It truly feels like a homecoming, like we are here together, hand in hand, as one. And I could not be more excited that all of you are here. And of course, I know you are all here because you know how important this is. I have been wanting to interview our guest today for about 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Since I first started this series back in 2017. And, you know, Meg is very busy. She is doing very, very important work. So I just want to let everyone know who she is. She is, well, first of all, she is an amazing being. And she is a quantum healer, educator, New Earth way shower, and a creator of the quantum access modality. She works very closely with Archangel Metatron. She teaches Metatronian technology at her Quantum Access Academy, and she's an avid explorer of the ancient mystery school tradition. And she offers this quantum access to her clients, students, and global audiences so that we can all live our soul purpose in spiritual embodiment. So with that said, Meg, thank you. It really, truly is an honor to connect with you today.
Well, thank you, Demetria. Oh my goodness, what an intro. Well, it's just a thrill to be here with you and everyone who's joining us. And I think we'll have a nice, lively discussion here tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, this topic is so important. I feel that we're all in this collective evolution right now, you know, and we all know that we really are not separate. Especially anyone who's on this call today knows deep down that we are all one, you know, one field. And how does this look like in our daily lives? And how does this manifest? And, you know, our topic today is an important one because on the journey, oftentimes we will meet very powerful beings, you know, who through various reasons, you know, maybe they have special psychic gifts or special information at a certain point in time. And most of all, very powerful magnetic fields, right. Let's say. And, you know, it becomes almost, yeah, you know, if we're going through a difficult time in our lives and these people present themselves as having special information, having special abilities, and, you know, they point to some date in the future that they're going to help save you and prepare you for this, you know, this very important date in the future. And, you know, oftentimes what happens is people give their power away to this teacher. And so before I go further, I'm going to give it to Meg. But one of the big things that I want to bring up is, you know, because this is happening on a pretty large scale, and it's not just in the spiritual community, you know, we see it, the matriarch and the patriarch, right, in the family. We see it in corporate America with, you know, the leaders of the companies, the politicians. So Meg, what should we be looking for, you know, when we are kind of embarking on this journey and we're investing a lot of our time and our resources? What's something to kind of look out for of is this really for our highest good?
Okay, so just to kind of do a quick background on why I'm involved in this discussion, because it's very near and dear to my heart and my work. I'm a quantum healer, but I do deep programming all the time. And I've been working with clients for the past 25 years as an energy healer, working with starseeds, light workers, spiritual seekers. And a lot of what we're doing is kind of disentangling from this old world system that you're talking about. It's a hierarchical system. So that would be your first key. Someone is always put up at the top, and then we're way down here at the bottom. So we're actually trying to kind of transcend and evolve beyond a hierarchy. So think of that as like kind of the 3D old world system. That's what we were all born into, and that's what's running mostly in these capitalistic corporations and governments and communities. And also now we're seeing as well in like the guru system. It's all hierarchical. We're trying to evolve beyond that. We're trying to get into what is 5D and higher, which is called unity consciousness. So as you mentioned, Demetria, we're moving away from where we kind of fragmented out into separate entities, all disconnected from each other in the universe. And we're going through this whole unification process that's happening right now, bringing us back. I mentioned it's like, you know, in quantum physics, we're both a particle and a wave. All our energy has both a particle and a wave state. So we're starting to unify our particle and wave properties. So that's our physical and our spiritual. You know, the wave is our soul or our spirit, bringing these two together. So those would be some of the things to kind of keep in mind. We're moving away from hierarchies into more what I would consider the feminine circle. The circle is the wholeness of not only each of us, but also our connection to each other and to the universe. So there is no anyone in any kind of a authoritarian or dominating position. We're all recognizing the divine in each and every one of us. So those are some of the things that just kind of in a real quick background of what's happening on the planetary level. My story is a little interesting in that when I had my spiritual awakening, it was in January 1994. And one of the first things that came through from my higher self was, don't study with anybody else. They wouldn't let me read hardly any of the New Age books. Like it was really trying to keep my channel clean and pure and untainted, and none of this program that's getting into everybody. This is way before the internet, okay? This is where you had to kind of go to and either sit in a circle with someone, go to a class, or read a book. Now it's like a gazillion times worse, because now we're all linked into the virtual community, right? We're all in this whole kind of quantum field of virtual realities, and we can't tell what's real or not anymore. Everything is becoming, in a way, so slick and so branded, and it feels so real, but most of it isn't. Most of it is what I would call an artificial hologram or false light program that's being presented, and it has a hidden agenda to it. So some of the key things to watch for as we're learning now how to navigate this virtual field, this is virtual realities. This is all new to all of us. And so I only know about it just because I'm in with clients and having to I get into their psychic mind, and I'm seeing all these kind of like almost like dark webs. It's all this virtual programming. It's mucking everything up, and it's creating a lot of confusion and also false reality. So they're now projecting these virtual realities out into the field, and then everybody is thinking it's all real. So because everyone's kind of connecting into all these projected matrices. So some of the things we look for, one would be anyone who is presenting themselves, as you mentioned, Demetria, as a prophet or a messiah or as a savior, a guru. We're leaving the guru system because that's also hierarchical, right? We're all starting to activate our own soul, divine blueprint and purpose and light body. So we become, in a way, our own personal guru. And as you mentioned as well, they're very charismatic, and but they're running, in a way, a mesmerism spell. That's how they draw people in, and they're very good at it, actually. So they use the mesmerism spell to pull everyone in with lots of promises of salvation, and that they have like hidden galactic secrets, and special channeled information and magical powers. Like a lot of this you have to watch for because it's just a mesmerism spell. It's not real. It's again part of the spell casting. And they also are, their agenda is to hook you in and create a dependency in you on them. And so that's how I see it's kind of like a spider with the web, right? It hooks, gets you into the web, and then they live off you. They live off your energy, they live off your money, they live off your adoration, right? All of it. And so it's a very extensive kind of false light, dark spider web, if you want to call it, of dependencies. And so this is the other thing we have to watch for, is where we aren't giving our power away and we're not looking for someone to save us. Everything needs to be pointed back in where we begin this whole kind of evolutionary process and spiritual awakening to empower ourselves. We aren't dependent on anything anymore. Also, another thing that they do is they try to legitimize themselves with a kind of a dramatic origin story. They were either abducted or they had, you know, an NDE and their near-death experience that awakened them, or they've been born as the chosen one, the oracle, or the Dalai Lama. You know, it's like this whole big story. They were children in satanic sex rings or satanic ritual abuse. They're members of the secret space program, right? None of this can be verified. This is all just being thrown at you as part of the mesmerism spell in the virtual reality program. Also, a lot of them are saying that and this, I'm now really honing in on the New Age. This is where I was really, you know, guided, don't get into this whole New Age mythology. And this was in the 90s. I mean, it's gotten way worse since, but it was some of the kind of red alarm bell terms, you know, that would kind of warn me, would be they're messengers of the Galactic Federation or the Ashtar Command or the Blue Avians. None of this can also be verified. This is not how this whole planetary ascension is happening. This is a free will zone. This is about us. We're the ones who are the visitors. We're the ones who are here to go through this process and to help elevate the consciousness on the planet. We're not waiting for some ET saviors. So this again, I'm going to just keep pointing you back, okay? You guys have to keep coming back into why we're here, what we're here to do, what our purpose is, and not get too caught up in all this mythology of galactic ET saviors. Also, they're giving medical advice with zero medical training. Oof, that's a big red flag. I'm an energy healer for 25 years. I don't give medical advice. I will share what actually maybe this herb or this supplement has helped me. I do not give out medical advice, especially mental health advice. Okay, what's happening is most of these people are attracting very traumatized followers, and they need actually trauma healing, trauma therapy. They don't need, you know, magical pendants that will you know, save them. Okay, they need therapy. And so I'm a unifier, so I honor both what the medical field and the spiritual field can offer us. We have both a physical human psyche and we have a soul. So we need to take care of all our needs, both the physical, medical, and the spiritual. We also are, let's see, feels like someone's talking.
Yeah, sorry, I think I muted them, hopefully, yeah.
Okay. Any red flag would happen when they would claim that they're the only one that can provide this, okay? So there's the dependency again. They're the one who can provide these miracle healings or future predictions or your ascension. I'm even seeing in Facebook, there's groups that saying that you can only ascend if you're invited into it. Okay, none of this is real. This is again, a lot of what I would call false light distortion and distraction. They're trying to actually get you away from what you're here to do. And also, let's just talk about it. You know, it's New Age grift. This is all about trying to make money, and it's still in the old 3D capitalistic system. It's a lot of them are building pyramid schemes. You know, if you buy this $5,000 or $10,000 package, then you can go and promote my work everywhere. You know, it's building pyramid schemes. This is not how the newer timeline operates at all. We're moving away from our obsession on money and moving more into becoming open conduits and receivers of the universal abundance. It's a completely different operating system. And so anyone who's still kind of running these schemes from the 3D capitalistic, materialistic, money obsessed system are going to hold you there. You're not going to be able to move into the other system. And the other system is with heart magnetism. It's not mind, it's not force, it's the feminine. It's using the feminine heart magnetism and the feminine right brain, which is our holographic brain, to visualize. When we talk about we're moving into more of the feminine powers, this is part of it. Using the heart magnetism and using our intuitive holographic visualization to create in the quantum field, as opposed to in the 3D system where you have to compete with each other and fight to get a dollar. Like, it's a completely different operating system. So those are just a couple, I would say, like red flags, highlights to watch for, and we can go in deeper into any one of those or something else too.
Yeah. Actually, it's so funny. You really touched on a lot of what I've been seeing. Like, you know, I wanted to mention something. So I just recently received an email, and right away my radar just went through the roof. You know, it was like ambitious. I mean, I just have to state this is quote unquote, ambitious spiritual leaders who want to go from 6 to 7 figures.
Well, there's the mesmerism spell. There's it right there, and the false promise to pull you in, and then to create the dependency. So those are good red flags to look for.
Good solid one. Because, you know, I mean, when I saw that right away, I'm like, first of all, an ambitious spiritual leader. That to me is a contradiction in terms, because spirit doesn't need anything. You're already complete as a spirit. So I don't know why you would need to be ambitious as a spiritual leader.
Well, I think the more that you evolve, actually the more humble you get.
Exactly. You actually become more ordinary is what I find.
Yes.
So I love that you mentioned that. And I wanted to say, because there's red flags and there's deal breakers. The way I see, like, there's actually some. So there's a community that I'm aware of where the teacher at a certain point with his closest students started advising them not to listen to anyone else. Would you say that's a deal breaker or a red flag?
I think that would be a deal breaker, because you actually should be listening to your higher self.
Yeah.
So we're moving away from kind of the ego trying to, you know, control and resist, and it's in fear, right? And it's just trying to survive. And we're evolving out of the ego control into kind of more of the divine will, more of really trusting and following the higher self guidance. And so if anyone's trying to kind of insert in that and say, no, follow me, that's a problem.
Yeah. And, you know, I want to emphasize too, thank you for that. Cause this is what I've been seeing that happens. Something will, like a healer, you know, you facilitate, you know, miracles happen all the time with you and your clients. Miracles have happened with me and my clients. So something happens and it's like a miracle. Well, it's almost like a misplaced loyalty will then occur. Okay, so it's like a miracle was facilitated with this specific person. And then it's like, okay, now I have to give over now I'm loyal to this person for life. Oh, right? Because they facilitated this for me. And then you lose that loyalty, like you said, to your own higher self, to your own guidance. Is that kind of what you've been seeing happening?
Yes. And In the work I've done, I've been very conscious and careful never to allow any of kind of the strings of dependency to try to attach. Like we really, so even at the end of a session, I turn it back to them, their higher self. Then, you know, they have the recording that they can work with through those steps on their own. And it's really about getting them up and running on their own with their own higher self. And I think I've been able to not get caught into creating that kind of web with all my clients, because I have such a trust for my higher selves taking care of me. So I don't need to create anyway, you know, that dependency to anyone. I think those who are saying you have to come to me, they're not trusting in that. So they're having to create dependencies.
Thank you. That is very important. Actually, we have a question. I'm sorry. I'm just now looking at the chat. Catherine is saying, I don't know if you can see it. She's an empath. Oh, sorry. My chat is like not
picking up.
Yeah, it's often difficult for me to differentiate where the negative energies come from. Can we clear this for everyone?
So I work with Metatron's technology of using the quantum vortex. And so I use that to spin out any negative energies wherever I'm picking it up, either if it's in the mind or I'm feeling it around my body or anywhere like that. So I do this daily. So I'm always in kind of a maintenance and keeping things like my energy hygiene clean. So anytime you are picking up these negative energies, kind of just go at it generally first. That's what I do. Then if I find they tend to be very persistent and recycling, then it could be there's some programming running in here, in the mind, in the mental body that is now looping. And that then will take a little bit more interception, right? And to get this out of the mind, out of the brain, out of the third eye. So a lot of times these could be ancestral programming, the voice of your authoritarian parents or wherever this has come through. Could also be past life trauma, that's cycling as well. Could be core beliefs, core wounding. And so this is when I would recommend getting some healing. If you are finding that it's really persistent, and no matter how much you're working on kind of peeling the layers off, that thing's still there, then I would get a second pair of eyes and hands, get an energy healer to help you pull that. I find the energy will not release 100% unless it feels completed. So it has to become conscious. So that may be that there's a life lesson there that we have to integrate, we have to become conscious of, we have to learn from. And I find once we become aware of what that is and we really embrace it, integrate it, that energy, poof, it's gone. So it's really more of working, instead of like you're not in a battle inside here anymore, you're working with your own energy for what it's helping you to evolve and learn and continue to ascend higher and higher. So that would be my first suggestion.
Beautiful. Thank you, Meg. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a short interview, unfortunately. I know, I'm just like, okay, what can we get the key points? Yes, and it's important. And
I can go a little longer if you need to.
Yeah, I know. I think it might end. I'm in one of those 40-minute Zoom rooms.
Oh, okay, got it.
But thank you, Meg. So anything else important? Yeah, because there was some other recent things that came up that I also noticed. Yeah, I think you mentioned, also notice if somebody who's claiming to have, like, maybe they say things like, we've already learned our lessons, we've already cleared all our karma. So, any issues are definitely all about you. But, if there's a miracle or a healing or anything good, they will take credit for it. They will say, oh, yes, well, we were doing all of this, this, and this. And, it was because of what we did. Is that something you've ever seen?
Yes, there's a little accountability happening right now in the spiritual community. It's this is what I think is the reckoning that's like sweeping through the community right now. Is we can't bypass doing our own shadow work. We have to get in there, and that's what we're here to do, is bring the light into the shadow and be able to transmute it and go higher and higher. So we're the ego is impatient and we'll go, I get this also the time. How long is this going to take? You know, when am I going to be done? Well, guess what? This is kind of a lifelong journey. All right. So we're going to continue to evolve and embody more light. But some of the things that I'm seeing recently happen, and this had to be, it's happening now, it's after the pandemic. It's where as we are resolving our past life karma, it's called the karmic wheel or the incarnational wheel, you know, as we begin to, especially our Atlantean karma, our Atlantean traumas, we begin to really neutralize that and get the lessons and resolve it. Then I see the whole incarnational wheel. It's like a alpha omega. It just seals, the whole circle seals, closes, and lifts out of the field. And as this happens, I've been watching the reptilian human hybrid code also leave with it, and it gets replaced with our own soul star bloodline code. It's fascinating. So this is, if we, you know, so if anyone's telling you they're done, they're not done. This is just starting to go into this next phase of completely recoding our genetics. So if, like, say I'm from the Pleiades, I would then be downloading and activating Pleiadian human hybrid code to support me as I'm in this physical manifestation until I'm done. And then I go Pleiadian code 100% and I go home. So that's what's happening. So don't listen to anybody who says that they're done and they're ascended. If they're ascended, they would be gone home. So yeah, I think this is, again, a little bit of the new age kind of crossover with the evangelical Christianity rapture stuff. We need to just stick to what's happening within us and follow our soul blueprint, because we're all designed and coded for exactly what we need from our original star system bloodline. So we have everything we need to go through this process. When we start putting our energy and power out there, it interrupts that process. So we want to come back in and really stick to the plan here.
Wow, that's huge. You know, and as you're saying that, like the big message that's, I guess, since this is a short call, just to kind of, I don't want to wrap this up. We'll do this. Can we do this again?
Sure.
Can we do, okay.
I have Zoom. I can get us hours.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, just to wrap it up, I think the main message is that, you know, that power that is within us, right? Within the heart that beats, within the air that we breathe, within, you know, within us, the light that we are, that is the one with all. So anybody that tries to claim that they are more powerful than you, or that they are more intelligent than you, or they are better than you, yes, we all are unique, right? Yes. We all have unique skills. Meg, you have incredible skills to help people at this time with very specific things, right? I help with specific things based on our experience, but we would never ask you to commit your lives to us, to become loyal to us for life, because
it will not happen.
Right? Yeah, like you go to a dentist, right? The dentist is able to clean your teeth in a way that you can't do it yourself, right? So just remember for all of us, right, that we have the power within us always. And you said this before, the map of the soul has everything we need.
It does. And just keep embodying more and more of your soul energy. Just keep pulling in more and more of your soul light, your soul energy. Your own light turns on your blueprint, turns on your light body, turns on your soul code. It's all completely refined just to your unique soul signature frequency. Nobody else can do that for you. There's a lot of people out there saying, you know, they're going to activate your 12-strand DNA. Nobody can do that. Only your own soul frequency can do that. So we have to just kind of, back away from a lot of the illusion, virtual reality, fantasy stuff that's all over the place here, and come back into really it's our own path, it's our own journey, it's our own enlightenment, and we weren't just dropped off here with nothing. We're beautifully designed in our light body and blueprint for everything that we need. So I just tell people, follow the breadcrumbs of your blueprint. You know, it's just it is the map right in front of you. Just follow it. You cannot go wrong. You cannot get off path. And that has led me.
Road?
Yeah,
that
follow
feels
your own yellow brick road.
the golden path, right? Like the
Right.
golden path within, and just kind of listening to those little inklings of how that feels. Like, okay, how does this feel? How does that feel? And you know, continually listening to that. So I think both of us just really wanted to, yeah, to really bring that forward, to all, and to hear that, and to know, that you're all worthy. You're all worthy, right? You're worthy of abundance. You're worthy of
Yes.
joy,
And
right?
you're all divine beings.
Yes, we
You're
all
all
are.
divine beings.
We all
You
are.
are.
Um, Someone had a quick question. Oh, someone's saying, I don't, people, nobody wants this to end. Everybody's like, there's a way we can do this. I love it. They're like, we can't continue.
All right. Well, you guys think of some good, nice questions, and we'll plan another one.
Yes, we will definitely think of the questions. I said we will do this again. There is one thing though. Somebody was talking about a hierarchy about archangels and angels and God, and I see it more as a synarchy. Do you want to speak into that, like the kind of how it works with like the angels and?
I don't see it as our hierarchy either. I like the thought you said of the synarchy. That's beautiful. I work very closely with Archangel Metatron. I have visitations from him, but I've never even feel with Metatron that there's any kind of grandiosity or superiority. It's very benevolent and supportive. So my interaction is mostly just with him. I do also get some help from Archangel Michael as well, but we all in our own spirit teams have our own guardian angels as well that are always with us, have kept me, from doing major mistakes that I could have harmed myself. I mean, they are really on point helping us. And so to me, I just feel love with all of them. So yeah, I've never really gotten caught into that hierarchy with the angels either.
Yeah, it's kind of like all synarchical, like working together as one,
Right.
Again, like sort of unity and authenticity,
Yeah.
unity, united and unique.
Yes.
At the same time. And
particle and wave. Yes.
particle and wave. Yes.
We're individualized in the field of oneness. Yes, it's a fascinating duality, but that is how we are. And we've been living separate. Like when I first started working, I realized no souls were in the body. Like we were really dense physical particle field, right? And so now we're bringing the two together inside us to live as one. It's really quite a miracle what we're achieving right now, to be honest with you. It's awesome.
It's huge. It is huge. I mean, it's like, it really can't be underestimated. Like you really have to spend a lot of time in silence to really kind of receive the magnitude of this inheritance, of the inheritance that is right there within the breath and within the heartbeat and beyond. It'll take you to beyond.
It will take. So, and it's, we use this word ascend, but it's really, we ascend in frequency, but we're really descending the soul in. So I think we need to get another new name for that. I don't know what it'll be, but
I so agree with that. I feel like it throws people off because they just keep thinking it's like they're leaving their body when they say that. So you're right. It's like descending into the body as deep as you can go.
Yeah.
And then going beyond. And so anyways, before we part, I want to make sure everyone knows how to find you. So can you share real quick your website?
Yes. So a couple of websites, megbenedicte.com is the home site. I also have newearthcentral.com, which is where you can see all the latest podcasts and events and all kinds of stuff on that one. That's my big global website. And my academy's there too. So if you're interested in studying some of this Metatronian technology, there's self-study courses there for you at the academy. newearthcentral.com.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I want to also add, I mean, I've been following you for so many years. You have such integrity. You're able to absolutely identify what is there without, and just maintain that coherence. It's very rare. You're not afraid to go into the deepest places that a lot of people get, they're kind of like, let me just avoid that. You're not afraid, but at the same time, you stay in the coherence, you stay in the unity. And I just want to honor that.
Thank you. I think that's the only way that I can hold space with such deep pain and suffering and darkness is to be in that 0-point coherence. Otherwise I would probably lose my shit. So it's really, it is the way to do this work.
Yes, it's huge. It's huge. It's a huge service. And of course, you can find anybody who doesn't know me, you can find me at abundanceangel.org or liveyoursoulsdream.com. But we are definitely, Meg, I'm so glad you're going to do this again with me. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yes. See everyone soon. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.